Dear student, hope you will safe and sound. Today we will discuss about one of the important vaccine, that is the oral polio vaccine regarding the EPI program. The main objective of this program is basically to reduce morbidity and mortality, because poliomyelitis is responsible for causing morbidity and mortality in a large number of children and newborn babies. This disease is almost completely eradicated from the Western society. Anyhow, some of the cases are still emerging in the Asian society. So the main objective is to eradicate poliomyelitis from the underdeveloping society. So as for the poliomyelitis is concerned, this is basically one of the contagious infectious disease, and basically caused by a specific RNA type of virus belong to the family Ficornaviridae, and the genus of this virus to be known as enterovirus. So enterovirus is the genus of the polio virus, whereas for the family concerned, so family is the Ficornaviridae. Initially, in 1789, there was a description on the polio. So first description was in 1789 regarding the polio. Anyhow, the outbreak of this disease was basically observed in the United States in 1843, and almost more than 21,000 of the paralytic cases were reported in the United States in 1952. There are basically three serotypes of this polio virus, that is the PV1, PV2 and PV3. Among these serotypes, the PV1 is basically responsible most commonly for morbidity and mortality in case of newborn babies and children. So the basic objective of the OPV is to eradicate these three serotypes of the polio viruses from the universe. As for the basic sign symptom of the poliomyelitis is concerned, so obviously the first one, that is to be severe body temperature. So increased or elevated body temperature, this is one of the common sign symptom of the poliomyelitis. The next one, there is a severe headache, so obviously headache will be there. The next one, that is the paralysis, so obviously paralysis will be there in case of the poliomyelitis, and stiffy neck region, this is also one of the common sign symptom, and fatigue, obviously fatigue should be there. So this is these are the common sign symptom related to the poliomyelitis, that is the severe body temperature or elevated body temperature, the next one headache and fatigue and stiffy neck region, and even we can say that deformed limbs, this is also one of the symptom, and especially paralysis. As for the types of the poliomyelitis concerned, so basically there are two basic type of the poliomyelitis. The one is to be known as symptomatic, and the next one is asymptomatic. So asymptomatic poliomyelitis, this account almost for 91 to 95% of the candidates, where 4 to 5% of the candidates account for the symptomatic poliomyelitis. Symptomatic poliomyelitis have further two types, that is the non-paralytic, and the next one, that is the paralytic, or simply we can say the non-paralytic poliomyelitis is to be also known as mild poliomyelitis. where the paralytic one is to be known as severe poliomyelitis, and this is mostly responsible for the disability and especially, or simply we can say, is responsible for morbidity and mortality. Where the paralytic or severe poliomyelitis have further three types. That is the first one, spinal poliomyelitis, which is related to the spinal system, spinal cord. The next one is the bulbar poliomyelitis, and the last one, which is related to the bulbar spinal poliomyelitis. So these are basically the three basic types of the poliomyelitis. Whereas for the incubation of the poliomyelitis is concerned, so most commonly in case of the non-paralytic, so obviously in case of non-paralytic, so the incubation period is too much short, and that is 3 to 6 days. Whereas for the remaining one, that is the severe poliomyelitis is concerned, which is also known as paralytic poliomyelitis. So the incubation period for the severe or paralytic poliomyelitis is most commonly 7 to 21 days. So 7 to 21 days, this is most commonly for the paralytic, where 3 to 6 days, this is for the non-paralytic or we can say mild poliomyelitis. So this was little about the poliomyelitis. Now come toward the vaccine. So basically we have the two type of the vaccine. This to be administered orally, so to be known as OPV vaccine, and also the IPV, which is to be basically to be known as there is the vaccine to be administered injectably. So come toward the OPV. So OPV stands for oral polio vaccine. So what is the type of the vaccine? So type of the vaccine, basically this is a live attenuated vaccine. Yes, obviously we have to treat it, the virus, in such case that yes, antigenic property should be there. So these are basically live attenuated vaccine. Form of vaccine, so the oral polio vaccine is basically available in liquid form. So this is one of the liquid vaccine. So minimum age at first dose. So I think this is most commonly related to the European society, so that's why I mentioned 6 weeks. Anyhow, as for our country, for the Asian society concerned, so yes, we should have to start at birth time. So the first OPV should be administered at birth time. So as if you recall the BCG vaccine, so BCG is basically recommended at birth time. So along with BCG, the OPV should be administered, and that OPV is to be known as OPV 0. So OPV 0, that is to be administered at birth time along with the BCG. Total number of doses to complete the immunization. So again, this almost led to the Western society, and that is the 3 doses are to be sufficient to complete the immunization. Whereas for the Asian society is concerned, so most commonly we have to start from the birth of a child. At birth time we should have to recommend along with the BCG, and up to 5 years we have to vaccinate the newborn babies and the children in order to avoid the emerging problem in our society. So I think up to 5 years we have to vaccinate the newborn babies and the children. So basic interval, what should be the basic interval? So yes, of course it's too much important, so 4 weeks or at least 1 month interval should be there between the 2 consecutive doses. The next one is reason. What's the basic reason? So the basic reason of the OPV is to protect the newborn babies and children, especially from the virulent effect of the poliomyelitis. So this is the basic reason. Number of doses per ampule. So almost we can say that basically 20 doses are available. So a single ampoule may contain 20 doses, so or may contain the 10 doses, so depend upon anyhow 20 for 10 children. This is the most commonly available dosage form. How much quantity we should have to administer, dosage. So this, they have basically mentioned the 2 drops, but one thing keep in mind, 2 to 3 drops, this is the basic dose. 2 to 3 drops, this should be administered to the newborn babies and children. Route of administration is OPV, stand for the oral polio vaccine. So of course route of administration should be the oral one. Site of administration, so by mouth to mouth we should have to administer. The next one is the storage temperature. So yes, we should have to store polio vaccine at -15 to -25 degrees Celsius at freeze temperature. So the next one, special precaution. Yes, if children known to have rare congenital immune deficiency syndrome should receive IPV, injectable polio. Yes, special precaution is that, let's suppose if some children have the congenital immunodeficiency syndrome. If immunodeficiency syndrome is basically there, so in this condition we have to take the support of injectable polio vaccine. So injectable polio vaccine should be used in case of the newborn baby if they have the problem related to the congenital immunodeficiency syndrome. Side effect, almost this vaccine is too much safe, have no any such side effect. Anyhow, sometime maybe a mild headache, diarrhea and muscular pain may be observed, so you don't worry about this thing. Contraindication, so OPV, this is not contraindicated, and we should have to take the support of this vaccine in all conditions. Anyhow, if some severe problem is there, some severe anaphylactic reaction is there, so on temporary basis you can avoid, yes, but anyhow this vaccine is to be continued. Health teaching point of view, so health teaching point of view, there's yes, obviously nothing by mouth 30 minutes before and after the OPV. Yeah, this is very important. So don't take anything 30 minutes before and after the administration of the OPV, oral polio vaccine. This is too much important. So what is the basic summary of the today lecture? So the basic summary of the today lecture is that the first one, that is the poliomyelitis. So poliomyelitis is most commonly responsible for morbidity and mortality of the newborn babies and children. Main objective of the polio vaccine is to eradicate, to free the globe from the poliomyelitis cases. In European society, almost they have completely eradicated poliomyelitis. Anyhow, some of the new cases are emerging in the Asian society. So that's why this is also the main objective of the WHO under this program, to eradicate this problem from the Asian society. Basically, as poliomyelitis is one of the contagious infectious disease, so a specific RNA virus is responsible. Related to the family Picornaviridae, and enterovirus is basically the genus of this. So this virus have basically 3 serotypes, that is the PV1, PV2, PV3. Amongst these, PV1, this is basically too much virulent, and this is most commonly responsible for the paralysis, morbidity and mortality. So the main objective is to eradicate all these 3 serotypes from the universe and to free the globe from these serotypes. Most common sign and symptom we mentioned, that is obviously fatigue should be there, headache, elevated body temperature, and obviously we can say that paralysis. Yes, mostly this is a paralytic one, so obviously related to the CNS. So have direct effect on the CNS, on the gray matter, spinal cord. So yes, paralysis will be there. And one thing keep in mind that related to the incubation, so obviously 3 to 5 days, 3 to 6 days in case of the non-paralytic, where in case of the paralytic that is 7 to 21 days. Most commonly two types, that is the symptomatic and the next one is asymptomatic. So obviously it's to be clear to you people that basically further these have three types, that is the spinal, bulbar and bulbar spinal, combination of the two. This is very important. And this is little touch about the poliomyelitis. Next we discuss basically about the vaccine, and that is the which is most commonly recommended nowadays is the oral polio vaccine. So type of the vaccine is most commonly available in oral. So that's type of the vaccine. This is live attenuated vaccine. We have to treat the virus in such way that yes, the virus should have the antigenic property. So form of the vaccine most commonly available in liquid form. Then we should basically discuss about the total doses. So total doses in the Western, yes, they recommend just 3 because because the Western society is almost free from this. Anyhow, here in Indian society it should be recommended up to 5 years, and along with BCG we have to start this vaccine. Some specific interval should be there, and that's almost 1 month. Side of administration, yes, we should administer orally by mouth, we have to recommend. And total doses, so obviously that is the 2 to 3 doses, 2 to 3 drops should be administered. Yes, should be stored at a very low temperature, that is -15 to -25 degrees centigrade. No clear side effect. Anyhow, sometime maybe like there is headache, diarrhea and muscle pains, you don't worry. Special precautions, so obviously if there is congenital immunodeficiency syndrome, so yes, you have to take support of the injectable polio vaccine. No such clear contraindication, and health teaching point of view is very important. Never administer any food material, anything 30 minutes before and after the polio vaccine. So I think you have learned something regarding the polio vaccine. So this is sufficient for today. Inshallah, in the coming lecture we will discuss about the measles related to the EPI program.